All right. So, um, yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the balance between novelty and routine. So, whenever you travel, I'm sure you have this experience that you get all out of whack with your routines. You know, you maybe sleep differently or eat differently, or just every bit of routine that you have might be a little different. And you can recognize how important routines are for our well-being. They're good for our physical health, they're good for our mental health. They keep our nervous system regulated, really our whole being regulated. So routines are wonderful, not only for that level of regulation, but also for um, the sense of predictability and how comforting that can be, and also repetition. You know, the things that we repeat often can turn into very well honed paths in our mind body. And these are good things. Our body likes this. We like having predictability, but of course, life isn't always so predictable. So to be able to also hold spontaneity and unpredictability with a lot of capacity is really important too. So when we have novel experiences, this is very good for our nervous system. Not only it's very good for our mind, obviously, you know, good for opening our mind, expanding ourselves, bringing greater awareness into our being, but it's also very good for our nervous system, for us to kind of adapt and have that neuroplasticity when we do things that are unusual in our movements or in our routines. So, having a balance of these two forces are really good and really important. And I think it's nice to recognize where you tend to land in that balancing equation. Are you a creature of habit? Do you love routine? Do you feel very comfortable in routine? Do you shy away from anything that stretches you outside of the comfort of your routine? Do you get bored in routine? And do you really lean toward wanting novelty and new experiences and unpredictability as your kind of way of being, you know? So, you know, which side of the scales do you tend to live on? And what can you do to kind of create some balance there? So if you always know that you love routine and you know you really like to stick to patterns and habits, what do you do in your days to challenge this, to make sure that you're stretching outside of that? And then if you really love unpredictability and you thrive on that sense of not knowing what's happening next, what can you do to kind of help down-regulate that need a little bit and come into a place of balance? So as you sit up straight and tall and close your eyes, like try to pay attention to that for yourself. You know, and I think it changes as we age too. You know, one way of being might not be the same as it is now from when you were, you know, 2 weeks ago or 2 years ago or 2 decades ago. So as you close your eyes and settle into this moment, come into the awareness of how you are today. You know, that what is the rhythm that you've been holding lately around predictability and unpredictability. And as you sit with that in your mind, see if you can kind of come up with some ways for something today and something that you can kind of watch for in your life on the daily that can help you seek this balance a little better for yourself. Okay. So just one more layer of knowing ourselves. So as you become aware of the need for a little bit more predictability or a little bit more unpredictability, see if you can kind of make just a little bit of an internal commitment to seek that out. Drop your shoulders, come into your body now. Come into your breath, kind of release the thinking mind and place the mind within the rhythms of the body. Feel a sense of surrender in your diaphragm, in your throat, all through your belly. Try to create a little space, a little opportunity for your breath to be deeper, deeper. Feel your eyes soften and rest a little bit more. And just pay attention. What are you noticing? Sometimes when we go a little too heavily, excuse me, toward routine, we can get um, absent a little bit. We can become autopiloted. So if you lean heavily toward routine, let's just refresh the awareness of your breath right now in your body. And if you tend to lean toward always seeking novelty, maybe you can reach back into just the simplicity of the rhythm of your breath, the steadiness, the metronome feeling of your heartbeat and your breath rhythm. All right, let's bring our hands together to our heart. And let's offer an intention here. Breathing deeply. All right, and after bringing an intention clearly into your mind, let's release the hands and come onto our back. So I'm still slightly recovering from being a little sick or quite sick. So let's don't worry if I lose my voice a little bit as we practice. Okay. All right. So stretch your arms overhead and feel that extension in your body, reaching one side and reaching the other side, and just enjoy what it feels like to have this opening in your side bodies. Some good, beautiful length here. All right, and bring your knees into your chest and rock a little bit, swaying from side to side. Okay. Hang on to the knees here for a moment. Let's circle, kind of rolling in one direction. And then let your body roll the other direction. It's just sensing into a nice, easy feeling across your back and your sacrum. All right, and then let's open your knees away from the middle and bring them back in toward the middle. And just go ahead and find that sense of what your hips feel. All right, and then right knee and left leg long on the ground, and let's roll around in the ankles and feel your way into your feet. So wiggling your toes, rolling around here, breathing deeply. Feel a melting in your skull, relaxing down. Grab onto that right knee and drop it over to the left and stretch into a twist here. And let's find a little bit of movement in our right shoulder. So maybe slide the arm up toward the top of your head and then down toward your hip, and just feeling your way into some range of motion. All right, and then expanding open your body, stretching your limbs wide, rolling your wrists a little bit, rolling your fists, anything that feels good in your hands and feet, and then draw your knees into your chest and give another hug. Put your head down onto the ground, grab your feet, a little happy baby before we do the other side. So maybe a little bit of rocking if it feels nice for your back. Press onto your feet with your hands, drop your knees toward the ground. All right, left knee into your chest, right leg long on the ground, and feel a good squeeze, a good snug hug here. Let's roll around in the ankles, moving through your feet, breathing. Relax your shoulders as well. After you give a nice squeeze of the knee, cross that leg over to the right and stretch open
through the left side of your chest. Turn your head to the left if you'd like, and you can move your head around and you can move your arm around, your left arm. Just kind of find some freedom in that shoulder and in your chest. Make sure your breath is here and try to pay attention to all the subtle little sensations you feel when you find something new in the quality of sensation. Just revel in that newness for a moment. Such a great thing to be embodied. All right, let's stretch out to a star again, reaching your limbs really wide. Exhale, draw your knees into your chest. Put your head down onto the ground one more time, a happy baby. Grab your feet, maybe a little bit of rocking, maybe stillness. See what feels good for your body. All right, warming up your hips just a little bit. Either put your right thigh over your left thigh or right foot on your left knee. So a bit of a eagle legs or reverse pigeon. Feel free to have some mobility and rocking or circling. Feel free to be still. Just kind of touching into your hip joints and feeling for what's here today. Reach your legs straight up in the air, arms overhead, knit your ribs down, start to engage through your center body, feeling your stability. Let's flex and point our feet while we're in this little modified leg up the wall. Breathing well. And then slowly lower your legs down to the ground. You can bend your knees at any point that you want. Once you're down there, take a deep breath, melt for just a moment. And then we'll put our left foot on top of our right knee or left thigh over right thigh. And this check out what our left hip feels like this morning. All right, so a little bit of mobility. Notice if your body tries to accommodate, like are you shifting your hips around or tweaking with your low back at all? You know, what kind of accommodation is your body trying to make if your hip feels a little snug? All right, and then one last stretching to a star. Breathe deep, reach into your hands and feet. Exhale, knees into your chest, round your spine, and come rolling to your side. Coming up onto all fours. Find your way into some cat-cows. So take your time, give yourself some opportunity to yield and feel the pressure of your hands and shins on the ground. And then when you're ready, start to breathe. Move your breath through your cat-cows, arching your spine, rounding your spine. Enjoy the mobility here. Breathing deeply. Breathing fully. All right, and then any kind of movement you want. So perhaps your low back needs some nourishment, maybe your ribs, maybe your neck. Any kind of movement that feels good to you. All right, and then stretch down to child's pose. Walk the hands far out in front of you. Let your shoulders open up. Drop some weight down into your sit bones. All right, let's walk our hands over to one side or the other. So we start to open one side of our body, our shoulder, our ribs, our hip. Let your neck relax, breathing deep. And then over to the other side and feel that reach and that length. Relax your skull. And then come back to center. Come up onto all fours. And let's find our way to a twist. Reaching your arm up in the air. Drop that shoulder down. Gaze toward the ground and breathe. All right, square the chest toward the floor. Feel that shoulder open up here a little bit. Full breaths.
And then inhale, bring that arm back up in the air. Feel that length as you reach the arm high, hand down onto the ground. Let's switch sides. Arm up, slide it under, twisting. Enjoy the twisting, breathing into the movement of your spine. Right, and then reach that arm back up in the air, hand to the sky. And then hand down. Let's find our way to a dog. So as you come on up, enjoy the fact that your whole body gets to partake. Let's pedal your feet and maybe knead your hands, picking one hand up and dropping it back down, the other dropping it back down. Feel the ground. Feel your roots. See if you can climb out of the ground, off of the ground by pushing and lengthening. Notice your breath. Feel your heels drop and reach back toward the wall behind you. Notice if you tend to live in your outer toes or your big toes more, find that sense of balance. Same with your hands. Notice your weight bearing. All right, and then walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana. Relax your neck. Feel free to wiggle around, swish and sway if you'd like. Inhale for a halfway lift, getting some length in your spine. Femur bones up and back. Spread the bones of your feet really well. Full inhale, long exhale. All right, and then relax and melt to fold again. Soften your skull. Push through your feet, rising up, bringing the arms to the sky. Opening up, feeling your breath. Let's cactus open the chest. Then exhale and round in, forearms to touch. Now notice so far, everything we've done is very familiar. Our warm-ups, it's nice to have some routine in your warm-ups so that you befriend the body and come home to familiar places. Reach up high to the sky, and it's also nice to create a little novelty. Come onto your right foot and tip over to the side. Toes pointing forward. Feel that stability in the core of your body. It's one of my favorite things about yoga is that, there's so much to choose from. We don't do the same practice 2 days in a row very often. All right, come back to neutral. Lift that knee high up to the sky, reaching the arms. Feel that extension. Ribs in, just practicing a little balance. Soften your gaze somewhere. And we're going to tip forward into a bit of a not don't go all the way to a Virabhadrasana 3, but just tip forward a little bit and reach your hands back, just kind of finding our plane of standing on one foot in lots of different planes. And then come back, bring your knee up, reaching the arms to the sky, place that foot down, arms down at your sides. Pause with your eyes open or closed and just feel your way into your breath. One of the ways that I think it's really great to seek novelty in your body is to go to all different types of experiences physically. Try out a dance class, try out a exercise class, try out a different yoga class, try out, go play mini golf. Who cares what it is, but try some different new things. Okay, reaching up. Tip over to the side, stabilize with your core, drop your shoulders, find a spot to look at, breathing deeply here, stabilizing with the center of your body. Come back to center, lift that right knee up, arms to the sky, stabilize on that left leg. And then slowly bring your arms down next to you, palms facing forward. Start to tip forward and reach that leg straight back. Just kind of feeling yourself balancing in some different planes. Full breaths. Inhale, bring the knee back up in the air. And then foot down onto the ground and fold forward. Uttanasana. It's a familiar things that we do all the time in our yoga practice. And then always just mixing it up some and not letting it be completely routine. Inhale for a halfway lift. Open up through your heart here. Spread the bones of your feet. Exhale. Relax. Come down. Put your feet together. Come into a chair pose. Reaching the arms up to the sky. Ribs into the body. Find your breath. We're going to slowly stand up, come onto your toes. A little bit more of a balance challenge here. Start to turn your gaze up, 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 up. The worst thing that's going to happen is your heels are going to come down. It's going to be okay. And then release your hands down and fold forward. Step your non-dominant foot back. Even subtle little things like switching your dominance with your left and rights can make a big difference in kind of tuning into that neurodiversity in your brain. Okay. Come forward into a plank, holding yourself steady here. Integrate through your core, breathing deeply. Ground through the index finger mounds. And then we'll put the knees down onto the ground and find the ground. Take a cobra pose, opening your chest, feeling your breath. Exhale, come back down. Take your right arm out in front of you, your left arm next to your side. Take a deep breath in and lift your arms up and chest up, both of them. Exhale, melting back down, switch sides. Left arm overhead, right arm down at your side. Stabilize your core. Inhale, lift. Exhale, melt back down. Two hands on the ground. Come on up onto all fours. Swivel around in your spine. Breathing deeply. Okay, we're going to do this first with our knees down, and then we're going to try it with our knees up in a plank, but I want you to just kind of test the waters with your knees down if your shoulders don't feel very stable. Feel your core. We're going to take the left hand and tap it to our right shoulder and put it back down. And right hand tap to your left shoulder, put it back down. Okay. Just once more. So pretty simple. Okay. Find the ground. We're going to tap our left hand to right shoulder as we lift our right leg behind us. And then bring that down. Switch sides, left leg out. Right hand taps left shoulder. Bring it back down. Let's repeat. Left hand, right shoulder, right leg up. Bring it back down. Switching sides. Once more. All right, this next round, change your legs. Left hand to right shoulder, touch back with your left foot. It's awkward. And then switch sides. So same leg goes back as the hand that's moving. Come back to neutral. Lift up to a dog pose, feeling into that extension and length in your body. Breathing deeply here, relax your skull. Okay. Let's come forward into a plank. Now you can put your knees down if you'd like to. Adjust the hands. We'll start with our right hand, tapping our left shoulder and down, and switch. Now try not to let your hips drop. See if you can keep nice and stable in your legs and pelvis as you do this. We're not going to lift our legs up. We're just doing the arms. Tapping left and right. Crossing hemispheres, where we go from left to right, is a great way of training some neurodiversity in your brain. Let's go ahead and stretch back to a dog pose. The left-right is both a very routine thing, but also a very novel thing. We do it all the time when we walk, but when we choose to do it in slightly different ways, there's a lot of really beautiful neuro light ups that happen when we cross hemispheres like that. Okay, walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana. Relax your skull. Inhale for a halfway lift. Melt again. Enjoy the routine. Push through your feet, rising up, arms to your sky, and then trace down the center line. Pause in your body here. Find that samastitihi, the equal balance pose. Breathing well. And we're going to take our right foot forward. Our left foot's going to come back. Let's warm up the legs a little bit more. So finding a lunge on this side. Heart is forward, extending. And let's bend and straighten the front knee. Just see if you can feel your way into all that beautiful mobility. When you touch a sensation, let that part of your body just light up in your awareness. Ground yourself now. Feel your roots. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Finding breath. We'll twist to the right. Inhale to windmill your arms up. Exhale, coming forward. Reaching your arms back behind you, torso's long. Engage your triceps, feel your back muscles, feel your core muscles. Put your hands on your blocks, hop up to half splits. Extending through your spine, square hips. Big breath in here. Exhale, Jiva squat. Tuck your knee behind or next to your other knee, one-legged squat. Inhale, pushing straight. Exhale, bending in. Inhale, lengthening out. Exhale, stepping all the way back, reaching the arms up to the sky again, crescent lunge. Gaze upward, look to the sky. And swirl down to the ground, back to a dog pose. Feeling that extension. Let's come forward into a plank. So left, right, differently now. Lift your left leg, lift your right arm. Find your stability as best as you can. And then put that hand and foot down, switching sides. Right leg up, left hand up. Stabilize through your core, breathing deeply. Hand and foot down. Enjoy the routine of a dog pose. Lengthening, notice how your body rests in routine. Come forward into a plank. Lower yourself down to the ground. Arms out in front of you. You can have them in line with your shoulders or wider, whichever is comfortable. Of course, you can have your arms down at your sides if that's better for your body. Stabilize your core. Lift your right arm, left leg. Exhale. Come down. Right arm, right leg. Exhale, come down. Both arms. Both legs. Left arm, right leg. Left arm, left leg. Okay, come back up. Breathing deeply. Wag your tail. And then drop back towards child's pose. Do you think of the child's game of Simon Says? Such beautiful things happen in child's games. There's so much hidden development that happens in child games. And then Simon Says not only do we learn to use our mirror neurons where we imitate someone, we mirror somebody, but then we have to do unexpected things quickly, we have to follow. And then we also have to pay attention whether Simon said it or not, so there's just There's so much beautiful spontaneity that happens all the time in childhood, and we forget to have some of that as we get older. Let's go ahead and find our way into a lot of length and space for a dog pose. Breathing deeply, feel your roots rise up through your spine. Walk your feet forward, come to Uttanasana. Shift around in your hips, wiggling, swaying. Inhale for a halfway lift. Melt to fold. Push through your feet, rising up, bringing the arms to the sky. Lean back a little bit. Let's cactus open your chest. And then release your arms down. And just relax in Tadasana for a moment. Notice your embodiment. Notice your breath. We'll take our left foot in front now, right foot behind. And feeling into the reaching of your spine, the opening of your hips. Remember to pay attention to sensation as it arises within you. Let's go ahead and bend and straighten the front knee. Feel your way into fluidity. The breath, the rhythm of the breath is such a comforting routine and rhythm in our bodies. All right, ground yourself, root your legs. Inhale, come on up to a crescent lunge. Feeling your breath. Feeling the roots of your legs. Let's twist open when you're ready. Dropping your shoulders, feeling your crown lift. Feel the hugging to the midline. Swoop your arms back up. And let's bring our hands down next to our sides, long spine, triceps engaged, back body support. Hands onto the blocks, half lift, half splits, lengthening through your spine. Keep that leg lifted in the air. Find your breath here. Deep inhale. Exhale to a Jiva squat. Inhale, press straight. Exhale, come down. Pressing straight. One more time. Feel that support of your core, of your glutes, nice and stable leg. And then we'll take a big step back. Find the crescent lunge one more time, arms up. Breathing deep. Hands down, dog pose. Long spine. Full breaths. Come down onto your right knee and right hand, left foot, Vasisthasana. Bring your arm overhead. Feel that extension in your body. Press your shin down into the ground, a little arcing through your ribs. And then come onto all fours and let's switch sides. Left hand, left knee, right foot. All right, right arm is in the sky. Once you're stable, reach it overhead. And just enjoy all the space in your body. Okay, come back. Find your way to a dog. Long spine. Breathing in. A long, steady exhale. Walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana. Maybe touch your feet again if you'd like. Squat down with your hips. Utkatasana. Chair pose. Rooting. We're going to reach up. Stand on your right foot. Lift your left knee. Find your breath. Arms coming down next to your sides. Tip forward, Virabhadrasana 3. Palms facing the ground, engage your core, engage that leg in the air. Reach your left arm, whoa, careful, way out in front of you, right arm by your side. Breathing deeply, switch sides with your arms. Swing that left arm forward, inhale, come on up. Standing on your right leg, left knee up. Bring your foot down onto the ground, Utkatasana. Finding your breath. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Inhale up onto your left foot, right knee comes high. Finding your breath, finding a steady gaze. Tip that leg back, arms back behind you, Virabhadrasana 3. Engage your triceps, your back muscles, feel your core. Unlock your standing knee. Breathing deeply, reach your right arm out in front of you. Left arm next to your side. Stabilizing, breathing, switch your arms. Keep your neck long, look down. Bring that right arm back up. Come for or lifting, bring that knee forward, standing in a stork. Place that foot down onto the ground. Pause here. Enjoy the comfort of knowing where your feet are on the ground. A big breath in. Long, steady breath out. Dipping onto your right foot, lift that left leg out to the side, standing star. Okay, now we're gonna hug in on that one leg. Hug toward your knees and elbows like we're doing a this on the ground, but on one leg, and then push straight out again. One more time. Close in. Inhale, far out. Okay, put that foot down onto the ground. Pause with 2 feet on the ground and enjoy. Every time you take a yoga class, even though we do routines, we do similar poses, there's poses that are familiar. You show up with such trust that you have no idea what you're going to do next. And this is a part of that, giving yourself the vulnerability to have novelty, to not know what's coming next, to have unpredictability. Okay, this is good for us. Okay, root through your left foot, standing star. Find your breath, core is engaged, relax your neck. And then we'll hug in just like we do on the ground, but now we just got one leg to support us. Inhale, stretching out again. Focus your gaze softly, come on in. Notice if your balance is better on one side versus the other. Let's put our foot down onto the ground. Pause here for a moment. A deep breath in. A big exhale. Let's take our legs wide on your mat. Okay. It's coming to a wide-legged stance. Elbows down inside your knees. Just drop into that deep lunge or deep squat. Ground your 4 corners of your feet. Open your knees up. Drop your hips. Full breaths in and out. Inhale, standing star here. And put your right hand on your hip and stretch your left side. And you can slide your hand down your leg too. You don't have to keep it on your hip. Reaching to one side. Swing forward a little bit. Reach the other arm up. Finding your breath on this side. Opening up through your ribs. And then coming back up. Finding a goddess pose. Drop down. Doesn't have to be your deepest place, so just come to a self-sustaining place. Right hand on your knee, left arm up. Coming back, other side. And coming back, hands down, lift your heels. Find your breath, drop your left heel, and then drop your right and lift your left. Just go back and forth of dropping one heel down, lifting the other, and then switching sides. Keeping your chest lifted. And a little different way of doing some left-right hemisphere work. All right, both heels up, lift your chest, reaching the arms to the sky, and then heels down, deep squat. Inhale, standing up. Turn your right foot out. We'll come into triangle pose. So grab a block if you need. Opening up through your chest. If you like, once you get settled in your triangle pose, maybe take your arm overhead. Maybe put your hand behind your head. Maybe put your hand on your hip. Just find a slightly different variation from what our usual arm position is. Grounding through your legs. All right, and then bending your knee and standing on up. And let's do the same to the other side. So opening up our hips a little differently. Big breath, come into a triangle pose. Hand on your leg or a block, open up through your spine, reach first into the traditional variation. Drop your shoulders away from the ears, ground your legs, find your core. And then maybe your arm wants to come overhead. Maybe you're like, nope, my back doesn't like that. I'd rather have my arm down. Okay, so any variation that feels good for your body. All right, come all the way back up. Turn your feet straight, heel toe your feet in a little bit. We're gonna come into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. And of course, I know we haven't, maybe let's do a little quad stretch first, just in case you want to do a Chapasana. In Ardha Chandrasana, let's just open up our quads here. So let's grab onto your left ankle and open up your left quad. Standing on your right leg, you can be holding a wall or nothing at all, whatever feels good. Nice and stable. Drop the tail, lift the chest. And then release that. And let's change sides. Grab onto the right ankle. Try not to tip all the way over to the side. See if you can keep that right knee pointing down instead of out. Hold on to something if you need help. Gaze focused and soft. Bring your attention to your breath again. And then release that leg down. Right, so Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Turn your right toes out. We'll come into the posture. Keep your foot pointing straight on the mat instead of turning. Open up through your chest. Now, if you always look down in this pose, try the novelty of looking forward. If you always look forward, look up. See what is there. And if you want to try a new variation to grab your heel and try Chapasana, go for that. So find something just a little subtly different in this posture. Unlock your standing knee. Keep your pelvis in order so the tailbone descends. We're not overarching our back here. How's your breath? All right, and then we'll come out of that posture. Let's find our way to the ground. Feel your 2 feet. Root yourself. When we do a lot of balance poses, it's always so remarkable to me when you put your feet back down, how nice and supportive. It's a renewal of appreciation for all the support that we have. Okay. Let's turn our left foot out. Grab a block if you're using one. When you come into Ardha Chandrasana, try to keep your foot pointing straight. Start with your legs straight, even if you're going to do Chapasana. Find your pose. First, try changing your eye position. If you always look down, look to a different place. Maybe forward, neck neutral, maybe up toward the sky. The legs and glutes and core are working strongly. If you want to do Chapasana, you can grab onto the ankle and open up. Unlock your standing leg knee. So it's very easy to hyperextend. Let's try not. Tail long, ribs in. How's your breath? Whenever you feel ready, you can come out of the pose and put your 2 feet onto the ground again. And enjoy. All right. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, loop forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Notice how your mind responds to routine. Exhale, down. Back to a dog pose. Take your non-dominant foot back first. Full breaths. Ground yourself. Root the four corners of your hands. Root across your toe beds. Come forward into a plank. Holding yourself nice and steady. And find your ground. Belly down, chest down. Roll the shoulders. We'll find some symmetry here. Inhale, cobra pose. Melt to fold. Bring your left knee up toward your armpit. Feel your low back open up a little bit. Let's find a twist here. Take your arm underneath you and twist open. Rolling that left hand to the ground. Relax your head. Breathe deeply to enjoy your twist. Right, coming back. Bring your other knee up. Turn and look at that knee. Take that left arm underneath you and twist open. All right, come all the way onto your back now. Draw your knees to your chest. Breathing deeply, rocking a little bit, swaying from side to side. Let your back relax. Cross your, put your left foot on the ground, cross your right thigh over left, and draw your knees to your chest. And put your right foot on your left knee and turn this into a reverse pigeon pose. Relax your skull, relax opening up your hips a bit. When you find a familiar posture, rest within the familiarity, but try not to lose the attention that familiarity can sometimes lose. Stay present for sensation. All right, we're going to release our hands from our left leg and drop to a twist, bringing
your knees over to the left. Maybe your right foot can make it all the way to the floor. And it's a different kind of stretch for your hip. Open up here. Big breaths. I'm holding on to my right ankle so that it doesn't slide away from me. And come back to neutral. Two knees in, a little rocking of your spine. Right foot down, left thigh over right thigh, draw your knees in. Just hold maybe your shins or your knees or your ankles, wherever you feel like holding. Keep your head heavy and relaxed. Soften your shoulders. Transition this to a reverse pigeon if you want. You can always stay with your legs the way they are. Hold on the front of your shin or the back of your thigh of that right leg. Left foot is on right thigh. Head is heavy. Keep your breath moving. Notice if your body compensates. Did your pelvis shift? Is your low back feeling weird at all? Can you settle into neutrality? And put your foot down onto the ground, right foot on the ground. Keep your left foot on your right knee and tip your knees to the right. Maybe your left foot makes it to the floor and you can grab that ankle. Maybe put your foot on a block. Just see what works. And then relax that. Bring your body back to neutral. Knees to chest, a little rocking, and then stretch open to a star and open up your hips while your legs are straight. Wobble your legs. So, invert, invert, evert, just letting your legs wobble, pigeon toe, and then turn down. Okay. If there's anything your body needs, do it. If you need any props for Shavasana, find them. As the heat starts to cook up in our days, remember you can always do some Kali breath. So you can even try it in Shavasana, rolling your tongue, taking a couple of breaths through that rolled tongue, through your mouth. It's a very drying breath. Breathe out regularly and just try two. So I would recommend if you're ever doing a Satali, practice where you really want to cool yourself down, drink some water in between, do a couple of breaths and then drink some water. That's a very cooling breath. Allow your body to rest within the coolness now, dropping your shoulders, feeling your limbs settle. Breathing through your nose now, feeling the weight of your head.
And slowly begin to deepen your breath. There's a sense of weight that you can give yourself, grounding. When you feel ready, invite a little bit of movement into your body. And then eventually find your way onto your side. And use your arms to push yourself up. Take your time, move slowly and steadily. Once you are upright, bring your hands together in this equal balance mudra of our hands together. Notice the comfort and focus of holding the midline with your hands. Let's bring this concentrated, centered energy into an intention of offering. So give your support outward to someone. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jenny.